So growing up, like, my dad was always overweight to the point where he at one point was 500 pounds. And my dad's a short guy. He's like 5'8", 5'9", maybe. So being overweight has always just been like a fear of mine because I saw what it did to his body. So like anytime I gain like 5 to 10 pounds, it scares the fuck out of me. And that's actually what's made me take up fasting, because since I've been tattooing and streaming and like not moving around as much as I used to when I was like working at a grocery store, I put on some weight because I've always been like, I took after my mom's metabolism. My mom, she was always been super skinny, and she could eat anything she wanted, and that's how I was. But even then, just like right now, I weigh like 185. I was like 191 and it freaked me the fuck out. I will never let myself go over 200 pounds ever. I will starve myself and exercise vigorously if that's what it takes me, even if it's unhealthy. I don't think that there's anything wrong with being, a little bit over what's expected, but it always makes me nervous. Like, it makes me myself nervous. Like, I've been looking into like diet, not dieting specifically, but how, there's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and how your body, like what hunger is. And it's kind of just like your sleep pattern. Like, your body eats, or your body gets hungry when you don't eat when it expects you to eat. And I think a big problem is right now we have our diet based on breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and like that's basically 3 meals a day. And realistically, you don't need 3 meals a day. Your body functions perfectly well if you have a well-balanced meal. And of course, it's specific to the individual, and I'm not a doctor, so don't listen to a single word I say. However, I've been on 1 meal a day now, aside from Vegas. In Vegas, I broke that shit. In Vegas, dude, there's no way I could only have 1 meal a day when everyone was sitting there fucking stuffing their face around me. There's no fucking way. Aside from Vegas, I've been on 1 meal a day for 2 months, and I've never once felt like I was crashing. I've never once felt like oh man, I'm so unhealthy right now, blah, blah, blah. I take a multivitamin to supplement, like what I might not be eating, but my body just gets hungry at 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, I eat, and it's helped me lose weight. How big are my meal portions? Pretty big. Is it all food groups? More times than not. I always eat vegetables. Dude, I fucking eat raw broccoli and carrots like they're going out of style. I fucking love broccoli and carrots. I try and get a good source of protein. Like, the easiest thing for me is cooking, like cracking, a few eggs and bacon. That's always the easiest, because I never get chicken prepared or like meat prepared the night before. Grains, sometimes I have like a PB&J with my meal to kind of like give me that sweetness. I probably don't have very much dairy. I think it's interesting that like the world is under this illusion that you have to have 3 meals a day, or it's like, oh no, I skipped lunch. Oh no, whatever am I going to do? I better have a big dinner then. It's not like that. It's like how women, there's some women out there that's like, when they're pregnant, they're like, oh yeah, I'm eating for 2. It's like, no, that's not how your body works. Well, my dad doesn't weigh 500 pounds anymore. My dad weighs like maybe 250. You know what made him lose weight? His teeth rotted out, so he had to get all of his teeth pulled, and he had to have veneers put in. And the entire time he was missing his teeth, he couldn't eat anything. And he said, if you ever want to lose weight, just get all your teeth pulled out. Forehead. I'm not even lying. It's like a proper cycle. Your body has to burn fat if it stores fat. Whatever works for you. All I'm saying is I found it really interesting that when I stopped having a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I stopped getting hungry when I woke up in the morning and before bed at night. The human body is very weird, man. Like when a woman's pregnant, if she injures herself, the fetus will produce stem cells to heal the mother. When you were pregnant with your twins, they made your vision horrible, and shortly after they were born, it went back to normal. What the fuck? See, shit like that. That's so weird, right? It's normal for vision to go funny during pregnancy. There's just so much stuff that happens to like a woman's body when they get pregnant. It's just like, I would love to know like the biological reason that happens. Like, why your vision? What's the chain reaction in your brain that forces that to happen? I think that's so interesting. When I was in high school, I wanted to be an EMT or like a doctor. Basically, I just wanted to work the emergency field because like I'm not someone who panics, and I just love the biology field. and like I used to have all the muscles and all the bones memorized, and like biology was my favorite class, and I don't know, I love anatomy. I don't remember half of them now, and like I prided myself on knowing like the origin and the insertion points, because it was so fucking cool to know. I don't know. Thinking about hearts freaks you out because if it stops, you die. And we're all gonna die, man. So there was like a study done a long time, or not a long time ago, like probably about like 7 or 8 years ago, about the increase on human lifespan and how like the first person to live to be like 150, 200 years old was born in like the year 2000. And it's just like the study was basically trying to take like the rate at which technology is evolving and saving lives and extending human life, and how people are already starting to live longer. And God, dude, biology just I fucking love it. You wouldn't want to live past 70? You afraid of your nuts touching the water? Me too, man. I think that's a fear of all of ours. You're gonna sit on the toilet to take a dump one day, and all of a sudden your nutsack's gonna be touching the toilet water. I get it, you know? 70's probably the age. When you get to the age where you can't take care of yourself, it'd be a loss of interesting. Okay, so there is also a bunch of so there's a genealogist who discovered a gene in a rat, right? They removed this gene from the rat and it increased the lifespan of the rat by 30% average. And it turns out humans also have the same exact gene. However, it's just a matter of, you know, removing it from every single cell in your body, of course. So, dude, science, biology, it's crazy. I think, though, the biggest issue with aging, right? So, you know, everyone doesn't want to die. People want to live for a long time. You know, because they're afraid of not being alive for a long time. They're afraid of their body deteriorating, their mind disappearing. You know, I think that's the true fear of getting old. You know, like dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. People are all worried about those kinds of things. But what if your mind didn't deteriorate? Because that would be the true problem with being an immortal. Hypothetically, if immortality was obtainable, your brain is physically incapable of retaining tons of information. I think that your brain is it's like 3 terabytes or something. Your brain can retain about 3 terabytes of information, and that's across your whole life. So I don't know. In a billion years or so. I mean, if you're immortal, dude, you just find another planet. Yeah, only terabyte. I believe it was like, I don't know. You know what, to be honest, I don't even know how the fuck they were able to find it. Like, how as a scientist, how are you able to sit there and find, like, how do you do that? How do you sit there and measure that? With a fucking yardstick? Hold on, let me measure the length of your synapse and your dendrites. You've got short dendrites. You're gonna be stupid by the age of 40. They do not know. No, of course not. How much of your memory is used memorizing memes, song lyrics? I know one of you, Mika, you probably know this fact. How much data is inside one ejaculate on average? Like, there's like a measurable amount of DNA information. You were thinking of that when I mentioned the brain thing? I knew it. It's like so many megabytes, right? It's like so many megabytes, or like 1 gigabyte of information for every ejaculate, because it's DNA and that has information on programming for a person. The average ejaculate holds 1.5 petabytes of information. See, like, that's that kind of stuff, man, gets me off. No pun intended at all. This next subject I want to bring up that's like science related, like, I want to bring it up, but I feel like it could be I could see people being upset because it has, you know, political ties to religion. Fuck it. Okay, so I love when people doubt evolution. That shit just puts a real fucking kick in my step. Like, let's use African elephants as an example. I don't know the exact percentages for what I'm about to discuss, but the idea will be there. African elephants, they've been hunted for their ivory, their tusks, right? So it's like some wild percent now that a male African elephant will no longer be born with tusks. A baby African elephant has like a 1% chance to be born with tusks anymore. And the reason behind that is because every elephant that had tusks got hunted and killed but the ones that did not survived because they were not hunted. Thus, the gene of not having a tusk survived, and that there is literally evolution. That there is literally fucking evolution. And for people to like doubt that exists is just like wild. Artificial selection, yeah, I mean, basically. As far as the origin of humanity and where humans came from, you know, be it Neanderthal or from monkeys, whatever. That I don't care about. That I don't care about. You're a Neanderthal. Every time you squeeze your hog, you become more and more of a Neanderthal. All that hog squeezing is gonna turn you dumber and dumber. I just think it's interesting. Humans are weird. Life is weird.